Councilmember Graham.
Thank you very much. First, let me be fair to the history. And Councilmember Barry is absolutely correct. You know, he has been a steadfast friend of the GLBT community for decades. And I can say firsthand what a critical difference you made as mayor of the District of Columbia in 1983. 1983 is 25 plus years ago, when at a time when there was very little understanding about HIV and AIDS, Mayor Barry was with us at Whitman Walker Clinic, and it made the absolute critical difference. And I have never forgotten that. I will never forget it, because when someone stands with you at the toughest of times, you don't want to ever forget when that happened. And it did happen, and I thank you every day that it comes up about that. However, we part ways today, Mr. Barry, on this issue. And, you know, I'm not shy about the overall issue. I support marriage equality. I have supported it ever since it became an issue. It is, for me, on a very personal level, being able to vote in favor of this after all of the years, all of the stages of being gay is a profound experience for me, and please respect that. Because I have gone from denying my sexuality to overplaying it at one point, to finding the right balance, to have it right size. You know, I'm gay, but I'm also 5'5"1/4. The quarter always meant something to me. You know, I'm a lawyer. You know, I live in Adams, Morgan. I represent Ward 1. It's another fact in my life that I neither billboard nor do I deny. And so reaching this point in time where I can vote for this is an extraordinary event for me. And I take great appreciation in it. But the fact of the matter is that this is just simply a matter of fairness. Because if you were married in Vermont, or you were married in Iowa, and for some reason you were to be transferred to the District of Columbia, you would want to know whether that Iowa marriage or that Vermont marriage would be recognized in D.C. You'd want to know. And D.C. has an obligation to tell you that if you have a valid marriage in Iowa and you have a valid marriage in Vermont, you have a valid marriage in D.C. This should have been done by legal memorandum. The famous Spagnoletti Memorandum, which I pressed for 4 or 5 years ago, ought to have been issued the way the New York Attorney General issued a legal opinion on this subject. But it didn't happen. And it wasn't going to happen. And so this council, thank you, Councilmember Mendelson, thank you, Councilmember Catania, and everyone else, determined that we had to move forward on this. Let me finish by saying this. I have been married. I was legally married. And I was married to a woman who I love to this day. But for obvious reasons, it didn't work out. But I loved her then. I was committed to her during the marriage, and I love her to this day. And what, after all, is marriage other than an expression of love formalized between two people? Isn't that what marriage is? That was what my marriage was. That's what my marriage was. And there is not enough love in the world today. Why would we deny the ability of two people to say they love each other? I'm looking at people right now who are holding hands. I like to see you hold hands because it's an expression of your feelings for each other. And I think when you boil all this down and you cut through all the politics of this and you recognize this to be a civil right, nothing that we're imposing on any church, then you realize how important it is to people to have this ability to express their love for each other. And that's what I support today, and that's what I will continue to support. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Graham.